Hi there, I'm Chifu Aaron from Dragon Phoenix Kung Fu in Asheville, North Carolina. Today's question is, why do martial artists practice slowly? Because, like, how are you going to get it out? You got all the time in the world to get out of the way from a strike like this. And how are you going to block something coming at you when you're moving like a turtle? Slower than Christmas. We don't fight slowly. That's the answer. We practice slowly so that we can have more precision and power when we move more quickly. So this is a lot like, learning how to play a musical instrument. I think I've talked about this in another video. So I grew up playing electric guitar, and so there's this game called the metronome game. And so maybe you're trying to play something that's real difficult to play, and your fingers are getting tangled in knots and it's sounding bad. Well, what you do is you turn the metronome way down, you practice really slow, and you get to where you can actually do the thing. And it sounds okay. And you're like, all right, let's up the challenge just a tiny bit. And then you play a little bit faster, and all of a sudden you're making new mistakes. And so you work for a while, you iron those out, and like, okay, there you go. Dial it up a little bit more. And you keep going until you get to the speed that you're wanting to play at. And so by going slow, it gives us the time to create these new neural pathways in our mind to where we can make better choices and we're not tensed and freaking out. So you can't just practice slow all the time, though. You have to go fast with the slow. So practice slow, then speed it up a little bit. Where you're making new mistakes, that's where you still really need to work. Slow it down just a little bit, iron out those mistakes, speed it back up again. And that's how you're going to be able to move at full speed. At full speed, you'll be able to develop full power. But what precedes speed and power is technique. And technique can only be refined when practicing slow under a magnifying glass. This is similar to, I had a background as an elementary school teacher, master's degree in education. And there was a really interesting concept in kids called wait time. So in adults, like, imagine you're an adult too. I'm going to assume there's going to be lots of you. We're asking a question, ask you a question in my mind. Oh, you don't know the answer. Okay, and I'm going to jump into the conversation and keep it going. We have that as adults. Children don't have that so much. So you ask them, what's 2 plus 5? And you're like, they don't know, it's 7. But you ask, if we increase the wait time and we play with this concept, all right, what's 2 plus 5? And I work with kids, I do this in my mind. I'm like, all right, 1, 2, 3. And I count to like 12 or 15. And you would be surprised how many times I got into like almost done counting and the kid's like 7. I'm like, oh, you got the answer. And that's really, really important thing to give kids, is that wait time, because what it does is it tells their brain it's okay to process information. It's okay to think about this. I'm not under the gun. I'm not under stress. I don't have to perform here. And they can, in doing that, it develops critical thinking skills, and to where their answers start to speed up more and more over time. And for kids, they don't feel uncomfortable at all with like 20 seconds of wait time. So adults, we're just big kids. The human mind, it's just like a little bit further along in the development cycle. But if we got to do that for ourselves as too, you give yourself wait time, go slow to where you can start build those critical thinking skills about, what am I doing? Why am I doing? What's going on? What am I doing wrong? How can I adjust this? How can I make it better? And as you're giving yourself these opportunities to think through all of these things, they start to become more stuck in there, more ingrained, to where you can move faster, and those things are automatic because you've already worked out the problems, the puzzles. So there's my thoughts on that. What are your thoughts? Love to hear what you got to say. Feel free to comment below.